Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I am going to do a client. This lady right here, one night I was on Instagram and she wrote on my Instagram and said, I would do anything for you to do my hair. And I just wrote back to her and said, I'll do your hair. And she was like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And I just told her, yeah. So she actually flew in from Seattle to get her hair done. She sent pictures in the DM once I said I would do it. See, she has some gray hair. So I'm going to do a demi-permanent color on her hair. If you watched my last video, you know what demi-permanent is. If you didn't, you could go back and watch it and learn all about it and see if it's something that's good for you. But yeah, she flew in from Seattle. She sent me some pictures after I told her I would do it, and I was glad. I liked what her hair was doing. I love her hair. Her curls are nice. Her hair is nice and soft, and she has really great hair, as we all do. So I'm going in and I'm just putting that demi-permanent color in. I'm starting right down the center. Her grays are only on the roots. So I'm just going to only color what needs to be colored, and I'm going to get those grays out. Like, so many people always reach out to me every day. I have maybe 30, 40 new messages in my Instagram every day, from you all, people just asking hair questions. And it's like, I don't get to see all of them, but every now and then somebody gets through the cracks and what they say to me really resonates. And, I talk to them and we end up where we are now. So, it's just something that happens. I had told everybody, just shoot your shot. You just never know what'll happen. But I wasn't expecting her to hop on an airplane and come to me. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm just getting that color all in. I'm just getting those edges really good. And I am now going to go over to the other side and make sure the other side is done. Just hitting it with this demi-permanent. I'm using Wella, same color that I used in the last video. And that's just going to help to ensure that those grays are absolutely covered. And demi color, for some people it fades, for some people it grows out just like a permanent color, as you see with her and Erica in the last video. Their hair just grows out just like a permanent color. So that's pretty clutch. I would rather mine's grow out than fade off, So, again, check it out and see if it's for you. Once you put the color all on the roots, just make sure you go over the edges again, because edges are really tricky. Like, grays sometimes can be super coarse, like a lot more coarse than the rest of your hair, so they like to pop out. I don't know if you guys, anybody have grays, talk to me in the comments. Have you ever put color on your grays and then your grays just pop right back through, like they don't even want to be touched by color? So you have to make sure that you just go over it a few times. So now that I've washed and blown her hair out, I'm adding heat protectant. Make sure you always add heat protectant. Somebody asked me recently, do you always have to add heat protectant? I mean, you don't have to, but should you? Absolutely. You always want to protect your hair from any type of heat, whether it's the blow dryer, indirect heat under the dryer, the flat iron, curlers. Just put a barrier between your hair and the high temperatures so that it doesn't compromise not only your curl pattern, but just the overall health of your hair, period. Now here I'm just gently, parting out the first section, and I'm just going to pull her hair up and lock it away. And then I'm just going to take my wide tooth shampoo comb, and I am just going to comb through her hair to make sure that it's detangled before I go in with the brush and the blow dryer. For clients that have tighter curl patterns and textures, I like to do the tension method first. That's where I pull the hair first and stretch it, and then I go in with the brush. I'm using the Denman brush today, a 9-row Denman brush. I was told recently that they stopped making a 9-row Denman brush, and if that's true, Denman, I need you to stop playing. We love you. So can you just come on back? So as I'm brushing, if you on your own hair, you see on her hair too, when I'm brushing, if the brush gets stuck at a certain place, just take the brush out. Do not rip through your hair or anyone else's hair, because that's where the breakage comes in. So if your brush goes through and it gets caught up in the hair, just pull that brush right back out. Don't rip through it. And that will ensure that you take care of your hair, because you know it's weak when it's wet. So you don't want to cause any extra breakage, because let me just tell you, it will show later, and it doesn't take long for you to be like, what's going on with my hair? So just take your time and do it correctly. So when we got to this part and she saw how long her hair was, she was like literally in tears. Like, it was just, her eyes were full of water. And she was saying that she didn't know that it grew this long. I'm almost positive she said she hadn't had it blown out in years. She'd just been wearing it curly and natural. So she wanted to press it out today, because I was like, well, you sure, since you only been wearing it natural, you want to do this today? She's like, yes, she wanted heat. So I'm going in with my 22 Titania. They are in stock at this very moment. This is the third day that they're in stock, and that's a long time for us, but we did buy so many irons this time. We have so many. We always buy a lot, but every time I try to triple the amount to make sure that you guys have them. So to everyone who's ordered already, thank you so much. To everybody else who might have missed the announcement, we are low on inventory at the moment, so hopefully you get one. If not, they will be back around the holidays. So hopefully you get this message in time if you want to get one. But again, thank you so much to everybody who has purchased one. I'm just so grateful for you guys, and hopefully you love your iron as much as I do. I'm just parting out this next section. I know when I started to press her hair, you probably noticed that I didn't press her edges, not yet. A lot of times, first of all, edges aren't mandatory, okay? So let me just throw that out there, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm just saying you better press them edges too. But I like the look of the pressed edges. It just give it a finished look. If you're going to give your hair a heat style, you might as well go all the way. And also, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about heat, and I always tell y'all, one of my favorite lines to say on my channel is, heat is not the enemy, lack of knowledge is. So just make sure that you are using your heat responsibly, okay? For her hair texture, 410 is the best temperature for me to use on her. And then I'm going to go in with my electric hot comb after this, and I'm just going to hit those edges that I am skipping at the moment. I usually do it first, but I forgot to turn my hot comb on, so it take a little while to warm up. If you have an electric hot comb, you know the struggle. It takes whereas flat irons take about 60 seconds to heat up, including our 22 Titania heats up in 60 seconds. It's just something about the hot comb just takes a lot longer. So I forgot to plug it in. So I said I'll just press the edges later. Another thing about heat is that no matter what, I had somebody write on my Instagram recently, and she was like, I need to talk to you about heat. I use heat. I do it at least once a week, and my hair is breaking a little bit, and do you think that I'm using too much? And I told her, Using heat on your hair once a week, probably for 99% of people, is too much heat. It's definitely a bit excessive. So you don't want to do that. Like if you're wearing your hair natural and you just want it pressed out sometimes, like if you more of a curly girl, I would say every 6 months is like super safe. It's ridiculously safe actually. You could do a tiny bit more than that, but me right now, I've been doing my hair like every 6 or 7 months with heat. Um, and then if you aren't a curly girl and you press your hair, just you always wear your hair pressed, then I would say every 3 to 4 weeks is pretty responsible to be using heat on your hair. So just, don't overdo it. A lot of times we have protective styles. Some girls wear sew-ins and then they press that middle piece a lot. And I know you can always see the difference between that leave out and the rest of your hair. So it's like you have to just have to come up with another solution. Even if you got to throw a hat on, don't be using heat all the time, because you will see the effects over time that it is doing and damaging your hair. So just do it responsibly, like I said, and you will be absolutely fine. Now, also with pressing, I'm flowing with the one pass rule, okay? So every piece of hair that you pull out, just hit it with one pass. You don't want to just keep going over the same piece of hair over and over again, because that's excessive and you are just breaking the hair down and you are breaking the bonds down. And eventually, it might not happen the first time that you do your hair like that, or not even the second time, but by time 3 and 4 come, you're going to lose your whole curl pattern and you're going to break the bonds down so much that your hair is going to start breaking. So if you use a lot of heat and you just see breakage, 9 times out of 10, it has something to do with how much heat you are using. So just kind of fall back off of that and do one pass. Now I'm hitting her edges with that little electric comb. I like my comb. I found a smaller one and that helps you get right up in the nitty gritty, So I'm just hitting those edges so it can be super smooth all around her edges, just like the rest of her hair. Now that her hair is all pressed out, we're going to go in and look at these ends. Her ends don't even really look that bad. They're a little thin right on the ends, but I mean, it's not too bad. She was like, just go in and take off a few inches, whatever needs to go. So we're just going to take the thinnest part off and just let it be as heavy as it can be, down to those tips. After that, I always like to go around and do the hair that lands on the shoulder and the face frame separately. Now I'm just going to pull it up and make sure that hair that lands, when you pull it out, where it lands is nice and even too with the back. It's also going to give it a nice little light layer, not too much, not too heavy. But you just want to make sure, I'm trying to get that hair in focus, but it's still a little tiny bit blurry. But you just want to make sure that that hair is even all around, because breakage can happen everywhere. Now, y'all know y'all usually don't see me do this, but afterwards, after she said she wanted it straight, she decided she wanted a little curl to it. So I was okay with that, because as long as the hair cools back down, I'm okay with going back in. And I'm doing it in super big sections because I don't want to break the hair down too much. So I'm just going to go in with my flat iron and I am going to press her hair. Look at her. She was talking the whole time. She had stories. She had questions. She was like giving me all of the tea, and she just talked with her head. Any hairstylists out there who ever had a client who talked with their head, I kept saying, boo, can you not move so much, because you talk with your head. Like, a lot of people talk with their head, and I always gotta be like, hey, you talk with your head. So she's a mover and a shaker, but she definitely had all the words for me. Okay, so we definitely was busting it up this whole entire time. She was a really good time. I know these irons look a little pink here, but these were our limited edition summer irons in hot purple. And somebody had wrote in my comments recently, like, these are the limited edition ones. I'm glad I got mine last summer. And I'm like, yo, they sure are. So I just pulled mine back out because I love my little hot purple ones too, and I use them more than any of them. I said I'm gonna start using the black ones. These irons also come in black, which is called Smoke and Mirrors, and the purple one is called Signature Royal. So again, you can get your irons on deeperthanhair.com. Again, the inventory is getting very low. If you miss it, I'm so sorry, but they will be back for the holidays. So you can go to deeperthanhair.com and check and see. Hopefully you get your iron. I feel like her hair is looking so good. It's just shining so well. And them curls are stacking up really perfectly. I'm just holding that cooling tip. You see those little rubber tips at the top? Those are cooling tips. And also the plates on our irons are floating. Like every now and then somebody say, are my plates okay? Like they look like they might be broken or they're not attached to the iron. And it's like the truth about it is that it are floating plates. So the floating plates allows you not to put too much pressure on your hair while you're pressing down on it, and it just helps take that tension off of it while you're handling your hair. So here she is. She is done. You know what? I lost the footage. I think I might have made a mistake and didn't press record while I was filming the back of her hair. But you can see that it's beautiful. It's curled. And all she has to do is wrap this every night with a silk or satin scarf. And don't put any product in it until it's time to go back curly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will totally see you next time. Bye.